Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on Live at 1. I'm Michael Njenga. Muslims all over the world have today turned up in large numbers at various worship centers for the special Eid al-Fitr prayers to mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan. In just a while, we will be taking a look at how Muslims in Kenya and other parts of the world celebrated this day of their calendar. Moving on, chaos erupted in Naivasha, paralyzing business operations along the Moi South Lake Road following the controversial killing of a fisherman. Tens of motorists heading to the flower farms and Hell's Gate National Park were caught up in the chaos after the demonstrators blocked the road.
A group of angry youth barricaded the Moi South Lake Road in Naivasha in protest. One of their own, a fisherman, was killed in what they term as controversial circumstances, even as two of his friends were arrested by police on patrol.
Kama yani tutaendelea na hivi ya tukusumbuanaga na mzungu, kazi yake ni kutuua, ajue venye na yeye atakuwa. Venye tutakaa na yeye. Tuwezi kaa ati sisi tuibagi kitu ya mtu, tujawahi iba. Sisi tunakuja tunaingia kwa hii baridi.
Tunaomba serikali ikirie kati itusaidie, kama mimi sina mzee na unasikia mzee mwingine ndio huyo ameua huko. Sasa mimi nabaki na nani?
The fisherman, a father of two, has been missing since Friday when he was last seen at Lake Naivasha, with residents worried that the killers could have moved his body from the area. Efforts to calm down the irate residents went on for the better part of the day, with the Naivasha OCS John Owoth promising that the police would investigate the matter. Investigations into the missing fisherman continues. Evelyn Wamboi, Citizen Live at 1.
Now, a senior finance officer in Taita Taveta County Assembly is sounding an alarm of a rampant corruption in the finance department. Julius Matheka claims graft was becoming worse by the day in the county. The officer now wants a probe conducted and action taken against the culprits. Taita Taveta Governor John Murutu has acknowledged rampant graft and said he has already submitted 5 files to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission for investigations. Well, they say disability is not inability. This phrase appears to be a perfect description of the life of Joseph Kanyoni, a resident of Kanyoni village in Gatondo North, Kiambu County, who despite being disabled, he has won the hearts of many through his farming skills on his 3-acre farm. The Citizen TV crew visited Kanyoni at his farm and saw firsthand how the handicapped man is reaping the rewards of his hard work. Never mind the fact that he has no hands.
We arrive at the home of the 58-year-old farmer Joseph Kanyoni in Kanyoni village, Kiambu County at midday. But what surprises us is that we are not the only ones here, as a group of his friends are here to check on the progress in his farm. His wife Anne Jerry Kanyoni, who had already prepared lunch for the husband, serves him, and to our amazement, Kanyoni is able to feed himself without any assistance. Proof that he has mastered the skills of coping without hands long enough. According to Kanyoni, a father of 5 children, life has never been a bed of roses, as his mother had to flee from their home after his elder brother was allegedly killed following orders from his grandfather, who was a former colonial paramount chief.
Mimi nilikuwa wa pili ambaye wasasi wangu walipoambiwa niue, walisema afadhali wakose shamba lakini wanilee. Na wakanilia akiwa namna hii baka gawa mtu mzima.
Jerry, who has been with Kanyoni through thick and thin, has also had her fair share of challenges in life. She tells us she had threatened to commit suicide after her parents attempted to deny her the right to get married to the man she loved.
Nikambia Kanyoni, unaona mimi nafunganga kamba leso. Mimi ukininua leso kama hii nitafurahi. Kanyoni siku ya kuachana akasema ataenda Nairobi. Kanyoni naye akarudi kwa mfuko yake, akanipatia pesa. Akaniambia utanunua lesho na iko siku moja nitatumana. Nikituma huyo mama ndio atakuleta kwangu.
Despite the challenges Kanyoni faced as he grew up, he remained determined to live a comfortable life with his family just like any other family. His hard work over the years helped him acquire this 3 acres piece of land where he has grown pineapples. Kanyoni was mastered the skills of holding a hoe and plowing without hands. Tells us he has loved farming all his life and has educated all his children through the earnings from his farm.
Kuna watu wengi wanafikiria hiyo mikono yangu kushika hiyo jembe iko na spaki. Hapana. Hii mikono yangu ni ya kawaida kama ya watu wengine. Lakini vile Mungu ananiwezesha kushika hiyo jembe na sika hata ukijaribu kuitoa kwa mkono haiwezi toka.
A sentiment shared by his friend Jacinta Wambui.
Ni mzee mwenye bidii, ameshinda pia wenye wako sawa. Ukiangalia wanaume wengine ni kulewa, hakuna kazi anafanya, lakini mtu kama huyu ni mtu anajikaza, anajaribu pia amesimamia boma yake.
Kanyoni shows us this picture which he took decades ago with the founding father of the nation, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, when he visited State House Nairobi before Mzee passed on. A picture he tells us he has kept in memory of Mzee Kenyatta.
Ilingimuliza rais wetu kwa sababu najua napenda walemavu sana. Akuje ili nimupatie mananasi na niletee mbolea kama hii ya fertilizer na hiyo mbolea ingine ya ng'ombe ya Masai ndio niweze kuendelea na mananasi yangu na ndio niweze kuendelea na maisha.
For Kanyoni, his plans are to extend his farm, a move he eventually hopes will make him one of the biggest farmers in the country. Kanyoni's story of resilience and hard work is a living example of the phrase disability is not inability.
That's right. Disability is not inability. Caesar Thari Mwangi, the brother to Murini legislator Kabando Akabando, has this morning pleaded guilty of murdering his mother on Sunday at their home in Ngamo village. Investigating officers have been given 7 days to furnish the court with details of the circumstances that led to the death of the 70-year-old mother of 6. Alex Kubasu tells us more.
Arraigned before Senior Chief Magistrate Wendo Kagendo, sitting in Murini, Caesar Thiari Mwangi pleaded guilty of the heinous matricide during a court session attended by hundreds of curious onlookers. Thiari Mwangi is now under police custody following the Senior Principal's Magistrate directive for police to investigate conclusively the events that led to the death of the mother of 6, among them the Murini Member of Parliament Kabando Akabando on Sunday. In addition, a mental evaluation on Mwangi has also been recommended, given that reports indicate he had been struggling with drug addictions and that he had been in and out of rehabilitation centers on several occasions. Before the foul murder incident, Thiari is reported to have been living with the deceased at their home alone. Alex Kubasu for Citizen Live at 1.
Well, the typical image of a butcher is a quick-eyed man who is able to cut close to the weight and tastes of choosy customers. But 44-year-old David Mudhami is blind, but that hasn't stopped him from running a popular butchery and an eatery in Mwingi. Mudhami has perfected the art of touch and feel to enable him to pick out the weight and the preferred parts of meat for his clients. Salim Bilu spent some time with the butcher and narrates of his resilience amidst adversity.
For most customers, buying meat at this butchery in Miambani in Mwingi County may just be another ordinary task. But there is nothing ordinary about the owner, David Mudhami. Mudhami is a visually impaired butcher who has a vision for quality meat.
Najua hii ni gramu 100. Halafu sasa kama hii nikishika na mimi najua hii kilo 2 tayari. Kama nje inua mawe namna hii, najua haijatoshia. Sasa nainua mawe kidogo nijue inabakia kiasi gani ya nyama. Sasa najua hapa inabakia kiasi kidogo na wekelea namna hii tu. Najua sasa nikisikia sauti pande hii imengonga najua tayari imetosha. Hata ukiniambia nikatie kilo 2 ama nikatie kilo 1.5. Nikikata kiasi ile nitaongezea ni kidogo sana. Maana yake mikono imezoea kushika kitu. Yaani imezoea uzani wa nyama.
His mastery easily confuses some of his customers.
Kwa mfano watu wengine wanaweza kuja hapo ananiuliza, kwani wewe mlevi ama namna gani? Maana yake sasa vile mimi nafanya kazi nikimwambia sioni wengine hawaamini.
Kama amepatiwa nini pesa akirudisha change namsaidia kama ni note, lakini nyingine hakuna anajua.
But that hasn't stopped Mudhami from running his business in the past 14 years. Today he operates a popular butchery and eatery.
Service hapa iko mzuri kwa sababu tukiingia hapa unahudumiwa na ukikuta David yeye ni mtu wa watu.
Sana sana biashara busy inakuanga asubuhi na jioni. Nyama zenye nataka kula ni zile za kuchemsha. Manake sasa choma siku hizi sio sana. Sio rahisi kupata mtu kama anataka kuchomoa nyama siku hizi. Wengi wanapenda kupikiwa sana.
We order for a kilo of meat and watch as David Muthami prepares it, while recalling he wasn't always blind. Rather, his loss of vision was literally a journey into darkness. It all started in Form 3 and he was forced out of school.
Nilikuwa naona kama kuna mtu ananiangazia ni mchale wa moto kama umewakishwa. Unakuja kama unakuja kwa macho, alafu unafanya nini, unazimia. Sasa mwanzo nikianza hii kazi nilikuwa naona kidogo mchana, lakini ikifikia usiku nilikuwa sioni. Tena hata mchana nilikuwa naona, lakini naona kidogo sana. Sasa ilikuwa ni 2003 that is. Sasa nikiendelea na hiyo kazi hivyo, nikaendelea hivyo, macho sasa ikazimia kabisa. Kufanya hii kazi sasa inaendelea kama inanipatia faida kwangu, manake si inanisaidia mimi nalea watoto wangu, niko na watoto. Niko na watoto, bibi yangu niko naye.
Kuna watoto ngapi?
Niko na watoto 7, wavulana 4 na wasichana 3.
Tulikuwa tunataka kukaa na yeye huko, lakini nikaona mambo ya nyumbani na tuko na watoto, tutafanya nini? Nikamwambia tu afanye na mimi nikae kwa Mungu atakuwa na yeye.
Ulikuwa umeniambia nikukatia ama? Nikisema kama sioni nijilegezee tu hivi niwe sifanyi chochote kile, hiyo inaweza kuwa ngumu.
The sentiments of a visually impaired butcher who, against all odds, soldiers on. Salim Bilu, Citizen Live at 1.
Well, thank you, Sally, for that story. Legislator Jacoyo Midiwo wants governors to be put in charge of security matters in their counties. He argues that county governments need their own security system away from the national government in order to ensure security in their areas. Midiwo was speaking in Kapsabet, Nandi County during a fundraising in aid of a library in the area.
As we give them more money, they also need to have security to protect the people in their government, so that you can have a real government. There can never be a government without security. So the presidency and the national executive have part of security, but the governors, as the other tier of government, to have some form of security.
Now, Muslims all over the world have today turned up in large numbers at various worshipping centers for their special Eid al-Fitr prayers to mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan. We now take a look at how Muslims in Kenya and other parts of the world celebrated this day on their calendar.
It was at the Mombasa County Stadium where Muslims from the coastal town gathered for the special Eid al-Fitr prayers. The prayers marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan, which Muslims have been observing in the last 1 month. This is a day when Muslims around the world show a common goal of unity, with key Muslim leaders joining in the morning prayers. Speaking to those who attended the prayers, Chief Qadi Sheikh Sharif Ahmed Mukhtar urged Muslims across the country to maintain peace. The celebrations have also brought business boom in Mombasa as residents stand in numbers to buy goats to celebrate with family and loved ones. Those in Kwale received foodstuff from Kwale International Sugar Company to celebrate the day. In Garissa County, Muslims gathered at Mahmoud Mohammed Eid prayer ground for the prayers, with security officers keeping vigil to ensure no cases of insecurity interferes with the celebrations. In Nairobi County, thousands of Muslims thronged the Sir Ali Muslim Club in Gara for celebrations. From the young to the old, they all arrived here early not to miss early morning prayers before going back to their homes for celebrations. However, the celebrations did not like sideshows as some of the faithfuls protested over the ongoing crisis in Gaza. Gatet Tenjoroge, Citizen Live at 1.
Eid Mubarak to all our brothers and sisters. Television commercials have evolved over the years to keep pace with the dynamics of both environment and consumers. But if one was to conduct a random survey, it is likely that many respondents would probably remember old advertisements more compared to recent ones and current ones. How is that old ads linger more in our memories? Evelyn Omboy goes back in time to sample the legacy of old adverts.
Remember a time when a television advertisement would have you sing along to it? Or even dance along.
Right here, a celebration to last throughout the years.
Turn on the stove, cut the sachet.
A time when a TV commercial would linger long after it was over and served more as entertainment.
What's the matter? Oh, I've got sore throat and my nose is blocked. Here, try Vicks Kingo medicated throat lozenges.
There are those who don't remember some of these famous television ads.
Nachukua omo with the power form kiasi kidogo. Naweka kwa maji.
But those who do will confess that it made for interesting entertainment breaks between news and shows.
Inatoa madoadoa yote. Inatoa uchafu wote.
Enough so that we still remember most of them word for word long after they left our screens.
Apenji. Oyo de guadafuli. This is the detergent Omo with power form. Try it.
Previously, it was easy. The only form of entertainment you had in your home was a television set or maybe a radio set. That's it. Okay? There wasn't that much going on. Now there's so much more else to do, you know, whether you... And you'll notice a lot of people nowadays, which is a new trend, they actually consume television media or radio media or other media while they are on their phones or their pads or their laptops and everything. So there's so much more distraction.
This is the blackest man in black Africa, the retired General Uncle Fred Obachi Machoka.
Veteran radio personality Fred Obachi Machoka would know this better, having remained the voice behind most advertisements for decades, seeing their transition and what this has meant to consumers.
When you get to hear a simple, nice tune, once you sort of can recognize it. When you hear it twice, you remember it. And when you hear it 3 times, then you become almost the author of that tune. You start singing it.
Step by step, day by day, growing stronger along the way. Blue Band gives them the energy to grow.
Undoubtedly, advertisements have invaded every aspect of our day-to-day dealings. They're the ones that tell us what soap to use, what cooking oil to use, what brands to wear.
Universal truths are all basically to find a life partner, to cook better, to be appreciated, to achieve, you know, simple things. Or just to share, yeah, or to be seen as smart and interesting, or to be respected.
Advertisement experts, however, argue that marketing may have gotten lost in all the developments in such fields as information, communication and telecommunication. What with the influx of information bombarding the target audience's mind from different platforms on radio, TV, print and online.
A lot of marketers live in the past, which is unfortunate.
Before you compete for audience, the producers must compete amongst themselves so that what comes out at the end of the day is a really one of the best productions. But you find that these days there are only an exclusive few who are privileged to do these commercials, and they tend to be repetitive.
In such times, marketing and commercial executives argue producers should try achieve the right mix.
We gon' celebrate.
dive into the dynamics of their consumers, even as they try to return to such basics as simplicity.
If your advertising doesn't get any talkability, does not get any share-worthiness, does not drive conversation, it is as good as useless. Nowadays we work towards storytelling and sparking conversation. That's what advertising really is. Because the media has actually blossomed, it's opened up. Nowadays what people say about you as a brand is far more important than what a brand says about itself.
Keep it simple. That is the only way you can get anybody to remember what you say. When you say too much, they forget what you talked about.
David Ogilvy said a good advertisement is one which sells the product. Without drawing attention to itself. The validity of that statement, one that is only proven with every individual service or product.
Little Nomboy taking us way back in time there. Where were you? I mean, everybody here is just remembering each and every commercial. We take a short break. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away.